everybody. Welcome to Stitch Therapy.
Why, thank you. Hi guys, welcome to Stitch Therapy. My name is Campbell. You met my little unicorn friend. He was from a thrift shop called Love Inc. here in Virginia, Stewart's Draft. And I just thought he was really cute. So, sorry for being dumb. But sometimes I just need to cheer myself up with funny hats. Today I've got thrift shop books, more stitchy books. I've got some pattern updates, and I've been working on my opening Gambit long dog sampler. I also have, now I have 65 boxes of floss. It's a lot. This is the progress there. I put dots on all of them to show the number of the boxes. I had a friend over and she said, do you have a log of what floss is in what box? And I'm like, oh no. I opened one for her. I said, they're in numerical order, and so are the boxes, but no, because I'm always adding. I still have that huge bag of floss to go. So, I just really love cross stitch. For those of you who are new to this channel, I love cross stitch as a way of meditation. Oh, we have a special guest. We have a special guest today. This is Smudge. This is Smudge Kitty. Say hi. Hi. You want to say hi? Okay. This is Smudge. Smudge adopted me in, what year was it, baby? What year did you adopt me? What year was it? 2015, I think? 2014? I was living in Scottsville, Virginia, and this tiny little muffin walked around a corner when I was coming back from grad school. I opened the door, and this little 3-month-old kitten ran into my house covered in dirt and fleas. And she was sort of like, well, you're going to be my new mom. Like, I choose you. So I made a song for her, and I'm going to sing it for you now. So here we go. I will get to the stitching, but I promise this is a special thing. So, Smudgy Pudge Pudge was the cat that came to my house. Smudgy Pudge Pudge came inside and said, you're the one I choose to be my mommy. So give me a bath, get rid of the fleas. Give me some food and a litter box, please. Smudgy Pudge Pudge was the cat that came to my house. Smudgy Pudge Pudge was the cat that came to my house. So, yes, now you've met the whole crew. You've met Tinker, you've met Taki, and now you've met Smudge. All right, baby. Anyway. So, a quick shout out to people who, my small, very enthusiastic group of people who like to watch my floss tubes. Thank you, you guys. I am quirky, I am not for everybody, and I'm not very fancy. But here at Stitch Therapy, that's how we roll. And I wanted to say some shout outs to people who were so kind and talked about me so lovingly. And I am loving you right back. Stephanie and Allison at CrossStitchtheGlobe, you guys rock. I love your energy, and I wish I had a sister that I could stitch with, like you guys stitch with each other. I love it so much to watch you guys. And yeah, I'm sorry you were cleaning the back of the stove and I made you cry. Sorry about that. I have a poem today, and hopefully it'll be a more uplifting poem than that one. I think people, yeah, anyway, we'll see. Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, I checked you out, and dude, you have a theme song. Like, who has a theme song? You're fancy, man. You are so fancy. You probably have a cross stitch shop too, and you're selling product. So well done. Good on you. Lizzy the Stitcher, thanks, dear. Right back at ya. It's fun watching you. It's nice being on YouTube with you. And I also wanted to say, if you guys don't know, Licking Threads is, I really like her. She's got kids that kind of interrupt the video sometimes, but she does beautiful, beautiful patterns and lovely, lovely work. Check out Licking Threads. She's great. I also wanted to give a shout out to the Jingle Ball. Stephanie and at Lindy Stitchers, or no, sorry, Stephanie at Lindy Stitches. There's a Jingle Ball coming up December 1st through Monday, December 4th, and it's 6 p.m. It starts December 1st, 6 p.m., and it goes through Monday, December 4th, 2:59 a.m. So people from all over the globe can log in. I ordered just a $10 ticket. I don't think I'm going to do any of the classes, but I'm just going to log on to the Zoom and enjoy stitching with you guys and meet some new people, hopefully. That would be fun. So Stephanie, thank you for that, and thanks for organizing that, and your patterns are lovely, by the way. So she also just got, a couple months ago, Stephanie was in Just Cross Stitch. So that was exciting. And I think she's also participated in stitch boxes with other people. So you guys already know who she is. I'm fairly new to her channel, so I'm just checking her out and doing some older videos from her. She's very cool. Those are my shout outs for today. And I will put the people in the description section in the bottom. I'm not very good at getting these at so-and-so's handle, like your YouTube handles. I'm not great at putting them in, so I apologize if I don't do them correctly so that people can just click on them. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm learning all the time. Okay, so yeah, let's get started with a little bit of thrifty book shopping. Here we go. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Sarah the Northwood Stitcher and I are huge thrift people, and I travel around and pick up things from thrift shops, of course, and I'm always giving Sarah a shout out. So if you have not checked out Sarah at Northwood Stitcher, she's a lot of fun. She's very cash like me. She just kind of hangs out in her upstairs. Oh, she's got this fantastic, huge upstairs loft studio. Hi, Smudgy, yes. Like she's got this huge art room with all this stuff, and it's like I covet it. I really wish I could live in that room. Anyway, she has her last video, actually, she had a really nice interview with a friend of hers who does beautiful stitching, and so she did this sort of like mini interview, and she's gone on retreats and stuff, and so yeah. So hi, Sarah, nice to see you. All right, so here are my thrift books. Okay, so this is Cross Stitch Patterns. Whoop, there we go. Cross Stitch Patterns. Cross Stitch Patterns by Irmgard Gerl. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Anyway, these are lovely patterns that remind me a lot of, if you remember my mom's what I was calling the Hungarian patterns, that many people are like, no, 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 they're German, they're Swiss, they're this, they're that. That's fine. But look, so that's kind of cool. It looks a lot like the one that was on that pattern, the sheet. And I keep threatening to do a sampler of my own, and I've started one, which I will show you later in the video. This one is fun. Mini Cushions in Cross Stitch. 30 Original Designs to Make by Sheena Rogers. I had never seen anything like this, and I don't know if I can show you the pictures in here. Let's see. There's one. How fun. Isn't that cool? Whoop, left is right, right is left. I'm finally learning this Logitech here. Isn't that cool? That's called Checkmate. Oh, here's another one. This one's cool. Isn't that fun? Yes, I like these. Oh. This one reminds me of Anna in Oregon. So she is stitching Roadie, and she loves bumblebees. There's a small one for you, Anna. Yeah, I could be doing this all day. I have more books. Let's move on. This is Charted Monograms for Needlepoint and Cross Stitch. It's kind of a must-have for anybody that wants to play around with samplers or lettering or something. This is from Dover Press. These are Dover Press does non-copywritten prints, and then they chart them. So I don't think this is it's charted. It's edited by Rita Weiss, but these are very basic monogrammed letters that you can get, and I got it for like $1, so it's fine. Cross stitch alphabets again. I went crazy for the alphabets. Those are nice, right? Those are some very pretty flower alphabets, and there's also these look like they're going to be sort of linen style, because if you look at that, there's one with vegetables. That's kind of fun, right? A is for carrot. No, it's not. B is for spring onion. No, it's not. Oh well. All right, needlepoint alphabet and designs. More of the basic. I didn't realize it was duplicating some of these, but I really liked the flower, and I liked these little motifs. Here, I'll try and get that closer. I really like these gargoyle motifs and stuff. Yeah, I'm digging that. And they have like edges and stuff and crowns, and yeah. So these are, again, I think this was again from 82 two-colored plates charted for easy use. And again, it's Dover Press. Same thing. If you guys haven't checked out Dover Press, they've got a lot of cool old needlework stuff. Okay, what's the next? More alphabet books. This one I haven't quite figured out yet. I loved this style of alphabeting. I haven't quite figured it out. Here's the back of the book. Basically what she's done, and this is by Meredith, it's a husband and wife team, Meredith and Gary Gladstone. And basically what they've done is they've put together basic charts of these different letters, the big giant chunky letters. And I don't think I'm giving anything away or breaking their copyright by doing this, because they basically do that. They give you the outline and the edge, and then you have to do like a Zen doodle inside of the thing, which I didn't know when I bought the book. That's the thing about buying thrift shop books online. You don't really know what you're going to get. So I only spend a couple dollars on each one. But yeah, thrift books, and then they turn out like this. So you do your own sort of Zen doodling, and then they turn out like that. I just think that's gorgeous, though. So there you go. Sylvia Sidney is an actress in the theater, or at least she was. I think she's passed now. And this is her picture. She was a movie star in the 50s and 60s, and she was also huge in the New York theater world. And she, as a young woman, and on Broadway, and she has done a whole book of needlepoint that she has designed. And when I saw it was Sylvia Sidney's picture on the back, and then I saw this sweet little cute froggy thing that she has designed. So there's a whole bunch of, they're very rustic, you know, they're homemade patterns, right? They're very rustic, but she loves African designs. She loves going to museums and getting designs from museums and stuff. So I just really love it. So I just thought, you know what? I want a Sylvia Sidney needlepoint book in my collection. And any kind of needlepoint pattern, guys, you can always do cross stitch with them too if you want. Emma Congdon's books, her book, Cross Stitch for the Soul. Many, many people have this book. I'm really liking it. I've earmarked some things that I want to do. The best view comes from after the hardest climb. Oh, good message, right? I mean, I think I'm going to be doing some of these and putting them in my office. I'm still working on the individual, by the way, if you remember that. I will show you my progress on that as well. A smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. Ooh, yeah. My grandfather was an admiral, so he would have liked that one. My grandfather also used to say, Confucius say, don't squeeze the coconut. Now, he would say that because as a little girl, I would get like, rah, 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 I'd get all frustrated and whatever. And, yeah. And so we'd be playing Go Fish, and I'd be like, ah. And he'd be like, oh, Confucius say, don't squeeze the coconut. I didn't realize what he meant until I was much older. And it's because if you try and squeeze a coconut, you're not going to get the juice out of it by squeezing it. It's just going to break your hands. So you have to actually use the proper tool to get inside of a coconut. Yeah, you have to hatchet it, which I'm not sure that's what he meant. I think what he meant was don't use futile energy. You know, don't let your energy be wasteful or futile. It's futile to try and squeeze a coconut and get the juice out. You actually have to crack it open and get the meat and the juice. So I don't know. I'm thinking too hard about this. Okay, the other thing is that I know Sarah from Northwood Stitchers showed you guys this already in one of her, I think it was the second to last video. She showed this episode of Just Cross Stitch. Deck dolls with cross stitch designs. Da 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 da. Okay, so there is a. I'm gonna do the. She went through the whole thing, but I will do the quick rundown of the patterns here. For those of you who don't have Just Cross Stitch magazine, I have recently resubscribed because it just reminds me of my mom, and I think I told you the story about my mom and I getting 2 copies of Just Cross Stitch when I went to college, and then when my mom died, I had like the duplicates of hers. So, yeah. Okay. That's that. So after all of those alphabet books and all of that stuff, I'm going to show you my very beginning sampler. So I have been using this, which is something that I picked up from a thrift shop for 25 cents, and I think I showed you this before. These have all different kinds of fonts and things that you can stitch, right? So I found a couple of backstitch fonts that I liked for this, and I'm hoping this is going to show up, guys. Can you see that? It says halt, 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 H-A-L-T. That's not showing up very well. Anyway, hungry, angry, lonely, right is left, left is right, lonely, tired. Sorry, it's so blurry. Okay, so how did I do this? Okay. I did it the old-fashioned way. I first started with the lettering that I wanted to do for the various H-A-L-T. And this was, I Xeroxed from a library book. I don't remember the book's name. I don't know where I got it. So sorry. But these are really cool, big, bold letter blocks. I think it was from a book in a New York library on wood block printing. These are, you know, stenciled letters that you can carve into a wood block and then use on print paper stuff. My words are failing me. I have menopause brain. I'm sorry. My words are failing me. Okay. Anyway, these were the letters. These were, I really liked the style of all of these. I just thought they were beautiful. So I took some tracing paper. Yes, I did. And I traced the images. I was sick one day 2 weekends ago. I was in bed sick on a Thursday. And so I just traced the letters. And then, oh, and here's my tracing paper. So then I traced them onto tracing paper, as you can see there. And then I took my mom and I, somewhere along the line, back in the day before there was computers, and that's how long I've been stitching. I've been stitching a really long time, guys. I started in the 70s. So back before there was computers and Mac Stitch Pro, there were these plastic sheets. Can you see that? No, you can't. Okay. There were these plastic sheets that you can get. And all of the different sheets have these plastic film sheets have different counts on them. So there's 14 count, 18 count, 22, 25. Anyway, this one was 18 count. So I stuck the tracing paper on the back. So old school. Like, seriously, dudes, I am not Lizzy Stitcher, right? Like, I'm not her. I'm not Stephanie. She's so fancy and beautiful and everything's really smooth and she's groovy and cool, and I'm so not Lizzy Stitcher. Okay, so, but I put it on tracing paper and then I stuck it to this sheet, this 18 count grid, and then I put it on my copy machine and I did this. I literally just put it back on the copy machine, right? Stick it, stick it, stick it, and then those are the lines. Can you see that? Okay, there's the lines. And then it came out. And then after that, I took a pencil and my little alphabet album, and I found this. And I just charted it. All right, so why hungry, angry, lonely, tired? Well, for anybody who's ever been in recovery for anything, and I don't care if it's CODA or Al-Anon or AA or food programs or whatever, or anybody who is working on seasonal depression or perhaps, or anxiety or some sort of mental health, it's just really good self-care. Don't let yourself get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. It's just really good mental health. I didn't learn it until I was older, when I was 29 years old, when I went into recovery for the first time for myself. I was in recovery for other people before, which doesn't work, by the way. Don't go to meetings for other people. Go for yourself if you're going to go. So yeah, I learned this. It was one of the first tools I ever learned about how to take care of myself. And I really didn't know that when I was angry, I was usually hungry. Or when I was depressed, I was usually lonely. Or when I was feeling overwhelmed and agitated and anxious, it was mostly because I was tired and I needed a nap. Right? And, 3 square meals a day, guys. You can't beat it. So, if you are feeling like your mental health is a little bit out of whack, or you're just having a really bad day, check it. See if you need to halt yourself. So that's where I am on my very first sampler, my halt sampler. And I haven't chosen colors. I think I want to do some of the early DMC numbers, like there's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If you guys don't know those colors, they're really bright, they're beautiful, they're like neon, and they're really, really groovy cool. And I think I might do the major letters in those kind of colors. So I'm still choosing colors, I'm still playing around with my floss boxes and my bobbining, and I'll check back with you and let you know how it goes. Yay! All right. And I'm going to bring you up to date on opening Gambit, which is my long dog sampler. And I'm doing sampling. I'm sampling different threads in this. So one moment, please. I will go get it for you. Okay, I'm back. This is the opening Gambit from Long Dog Samplers. That's the whole picture. You guys have probably seen that before. This is my progress. This is my progress. So this is metallic, the flag and the flagpole.
Let's try this again. Okay, so this is metallic. The flag is Krynic. Gosh, you can't really see that very well. It is a Krynic, and it's like a purple Krynic. It's got purples and greens in it. You can't really see it very well. That's disappointing. And then this is a silver, DMC silver metallic. And then this is an atoll with a single strand of metallic in it. And I wanted to show you that. It's a bit of a beast to stitch with. And I didn't know if anybody else had done this, so I'm hoping this will show up. Does that show up for you? Yes, much better. Okay. This is it's a 415 atoll, which is a C series. I don't know if DMC, I haven't been able to, I only bought one special box of it because it was, when it first came out, I was like, oh, DMC, I must have, it's new DMC, I must have. So, okay, these are the 6 threads, okay? Now, let me see if I can show you. Do you see the little sparkle there? Right, Taki's chewing on a bone. Okay, so can you see there's a little bit of a sparkle? This is basically a soft, fluffy cotton that's wrapped around a single metallic thread. Yes, yes. And what ends up happening is, if I can show you my little flansy things, what happens is that they end up fraying and fuzzing like that. So, yeah. My trick for this is I'm using two threads over one, and it's on a 20 count black Aida that I'm doing this on. And my trick to this is, well, there's no trick. It's just you have to go very slowly. And what ends up happening, you can't really see the sparkle. So this stuff, if anybody's using the atoll in the C series, I'm just going to finish the castle and then be done with this thread for a while until I lose my mind and decide I'm going to use it again for something else. My suggestion for this type of thread is I double it over. I do loop starts, but I do it, the loop start, instead of putting the needle in the front and looping it through the back and up and looping start it from the front, I'm looping it in the back. So I am pulling the needle from the back to the front and then putting it back in and looping it on the back so that the little mismatched cotton on top of the taut single metallic thread that will sparkle. It does sparkle. It is nice. But it's the starting of it. If you do a loop start, if you don't want to do like a fly catch start, that's what I call it, the fly catch, which is where you have the 2 strands and then you catch it behind. If you don't want to start it that way, if you want to do a loop start, which is my favorite way of starting a thread, just do it from the back to the front so that your front first stitch lays flat, and then the other, it's going to bunch up in the back a little bit. You can tighten it and whatever. I just do, when I come back, I just do a little bit of a tie off at the back with that little extra thing, and then it tightens up. So my back here, it kind of tightens up when you, do you see what I've done? It's like it's tight, and then I tie it off, and then I make it a little tighter. Yeah, don't stress. If you don't like using metallics and you don't want to experiment with new types of threads, this is one to avoid. The atoll with the single strand of metallic in each of the 6 strands.
if you just want to take something and whip it, whip it, whip it, like this red is going very quickly because it's just regular DMC number 347. So this is going pretty quickly. But yeah, I slowed myself down quite a bit because I was like, oh, I think I'll do some, some sampling. And I thought, well, hello, Taki. Why, hello. I'm getting visits from all the animals today. Would you like to say hello? Would you like to say hello? Okay. All right. Whoop, whoop. Here we go. And there's Tink. Would you like to say hello? Taki? Tink? Yes? Everybody? Okay. All right. Okay. The whole family is checking in today. Okay. So, all right, buddy, I can't. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm in the middle of a YouTube. So, like, okay, I think I'm going to have to take a commercial break here because I think Taki is, he thinks he's a Pekingese. He thinks he's a lap dog. I'm not sure really how to solve this problem. Except that I can't show you anything else with the dog on my lap. So, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Taki. All right. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. This is Eden. This is my progress so far. Underneath her arm is page 20. That is the page I did not get finished. There's a green leaf under there and the rest of the shell is to go. So starting up here, page 1, all the way across to page 18, and then, hi Smudgy, and then underneath there. I haven't actually seen this off of the frame. It's been rolled up. So I find this really, really encouraging to look at, and I'm happy to say that the colors on her face are a lot more nuanced, but they still come out. I was worried about that. So I did this on Max Stitch Pro. I did this on Max Stitch Pro, and I spoke to the artist Holly Sierra, and she said it was okay for me to take this painting of hers that I have been obsessed with since 2008 and to make it a cross-stitch pattern, which is what I have done. So this is a pattern I'm doing with permission by Holly Sierra. And I will show you the full picture and what the rest of it will look like in just a second. And here's Taki again. Of course. I wanted to show you guys my book of days. I haven't done too much in November. There's some trees. I have more stickers to put in, but I did get the Serenity Prayer put on the bottom. I have lots of images to go in November. I just haven't done it yet. But I went to Ocracoke, North Carolina, last weekend, and had a fabulous weekend with a whole bunch of friends there. And so I took Eden with me and put like maybe half of 50 stitches in. Like, it was just, I was out doing, dinners and hanging out with people the whole time. So I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done. I thought I was going to, but it didn't turn out to be the stitchy retreat weekend that I thought, because there were so many cool people to talk to and hang out with. But when I got home on the 6th, I did do 100 stitches on the individual at work. I did Long Dog Sampler, about 200 stitches on Tuesday the 7th, then Long Dog 200. So I was basically working on Eden, Long Dog, or the individual the whole week. So I made good progress. I think it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably about
1,000 stitches last week on all 3 patterns though. So not bad, not bad. And yesterday, oh, actually I should add the 400 that I did yesterday on Eden. So that's about 1,500 stitches for the week, which is not bad. I'm okay with that. Speaking of Book of Days, 2024. If you guys haven't ordered yours, you can order them now. They're out. And speaking of 2024, I want to thank Anna from Stitching Roadie for enabling me to have the courage to join my first ever SAL. I'm gonna do the Modern Folk Embroidery SAL, No Time Like the Present. And I've bought the pattern, and I haven't chosen which colors I want to use yet. I may take a couple from the different one, but this is the 2024 Modern Folk Embroidery 2024 SAL. So if anybody else wants to join us out there, I think there's a whole bunch of people doing this. Anna, you have just really, when I saw it on your video, I thought, yeah, no, I'm not a SAL girl. You know, I have 3 other patterns. That's a lot for me, you know, 3 whips or 4 whips, because I actually retired the cat one. I took it off that weird thrift shop linen and folded it up and put it in the closet. And I loomed up another piece of 18 count Aida, which is blue, and it's really pretty. And it was like a sampler swatch that I got from a cross stitch box somewhere. Anyway, I loomed it up, but then I didn't start it. So maybe I'll go back to that. But anyway, I was in the middle of actually looming that up, taking the old cat, skull cat thing off and then putting the new one on. And I was watching Anna's channel, her Stitching Roadie, where she talked about, oh, I'm doing a SAL, I can't stop thinking about this pattern. I can't either. I am so in love with this. So in love with it. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking that maybe I will do a circle in the middle, right there. When we do it, I'll put a circle in the middle, and I'll put, well, or maybe I'll just finish stitching it, but I'm thinking of maybe actually doing it as a clock, as an actual clock when we get it finished at the end of next year. Okay, is this a start along or a stitch along? I hope it's not going to be a start along for 2024. I hope I can keep up with you guys, because I do have Eden, and Eden's goal is to be finished July 2024, which means I really have to get cooking on that because I'm only on page 20. Yeah, okay. Well, I just love it. It has different, when you go on the website to buy this pattern, you can get a PDF. And then when you buy it, there are different shades of the pattern. There are different color palettes for the pattern, and they give you the colors. And I think, you know, the deer at the bottom and the squirrels, that's what really got me. was like, everything else is pretty, that's okay. But the deer and the 2 squirrels really got me at the bottom. Yeah. Thanks, Anna. All right. It's poetry time. Are you guys ready? Okay. It's winter. And I think we all need a little bit of encouragement before the holidays, and Thanksgiving is coming up, and a lot of people get really anxious during Thanksgiving, family comes into town or family doesn't come into town. I think I shared with you guys before that this is the first holiday time without my brother this year. And so we're keeping it simple this year, I think. And we're all just doing a lot of self-care, I think, in the wintertime, like I said before with the Halt sampler. Well, sometimes it's just nice to have a little poetry to remind us that seasons come, seasons go, and that we can flow with the season and we can be at ease with ourselves. And this is a poem that I think is kind of gentle and nice for these winter days in the fall where birds are flying south to stay warmer. And you may have gotten some cold, icy rain where you are, or you might have gotten snow by now, I don't know. But even if you're on the other side of the world and it's summertime, I hope you'll enjoy this poem by Mary Oliver. It's called Wild Geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clear blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Take good care of yourselves. Please halt if you need to. Don't get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Until we get to see each other again, thank you so much for spending time with me. Easy does it. Do the minimum, the rest gets done, I promise. And if you're sad, or if you get blue, just remember, I'm out here. I'm stitching with you. Take good care. Until next time.